Imagine the perfect nanny, one who never ever gets tired, doesn't need a break, and knows exactly what to do to keep your kid happy for hours on end. Well, that future, it might be a lot closer than you think. But the real question is it a future we actually want? Now listen to this. That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's not. That is a real, actual online review for a childcare robot that you can go out and buy today. This isn't some far-off prediction, it's happening right now. So, how did we even get here? I mean, why are parents even thinking about robot nannies in the first place? Well, it really boils down to this very real, very modern pressure that so many families are feeling. Yeah, if you look at the research on dual-income families, you see this clear trend. Parents are genuinely stressed about not having enough time with their kids. So what do? They start cutting back on things like chores or even their own personal time. And it's not just to be there, it's to provide really high quality time, these rich social experiences. The goal isn't just about watching the kids, it's about connecting with them. And this, of course, is where technology makes its grand entrance, promising the perfect solution, the perfect playmate. The whole idea is an AI helper that can step in and fill those gaps with interaction that's engaging, tireless, and, well, seems really helpful. So, researchers went out and asked parents, what do you actually want from a robot nanny? And honestly, the results are pretty surprising. You'd think education would be at the top, right? Nope. When it comes to what makes parents feel good about these robots, the number one thing by a long shot is its ability to socialize with their child. Getting expert advice is a distant second, and the education part, it barely even registers. And that's really the key takeaway here. It doesn't matter what kind of parenting style we're talking about, the thing they all want most is a robot that can help their child's social and interpersonal skills. They're not looking for a tutor, they're looking for a friend for their kid. Okay, but while parents are dreaming of a perfect playmate, developmental scientists, they're raising some pretty serious red flags. They're trying to warn us about the hidden costs, the things we can't see, when we swap out human connection for a machine. This quote from researchers Noel and Amanda Sharkey. Man, it just gets right to the heart of the whole issue. The real fear is that this illusory relationship with a robot, especially if it's pretty much the only source of care, could end up causing real emotional and psychological damage down the line. So to really get why this is such a big deal, we have to talk about something called secure attachment. It's like a cornerstone of child psychology. This is that deep emotional bond a kid forms with their parent or caregiver. It's what makes them feel safe, loved, and comfortable, and it's considered absolutely critical for them to develop in a healthy way. And here is the fundamental difference. A human caregiver, they connect on this incredibly deep level. They can sense what a child needs, they see them as a little person with their own thoughts, and they even sync up biologically. Their heartbeats, their voices. A robot, well, it can only fake it. It gives you a programmed response that might look right, but there's no real understanding behind it. It's literally the difference between a real connection and just an echo. And that's where the danger really lies. Those inappropriate, badly timed responses from a machine, they can lead directly to what's called insecure attachment. It can make a child feel anxious and distressed because they're learning that when they cry out, their needs aren't going to be met in a way that's truly comforting. This whole thing has moved way beyond a debate for parenting blogs and psychology journals. It has totally exploded into a major public policy issue, and you have governments all over the place just scrambling to figure out what to do. Just take a look at this number for a second. 50. Yeah, in 2025, all 50 U.S. states, plus D.C. and Puerto Rico, have introduced some kind of legislation about AI. That just shows you how seriously everyone is taking this. We're in an absolute race to write the rulebook for this new AI world we're building. So, where does all this leave us? The whole conversation is way bigger than just robot nannies, really. It's about the fundamental role that we're going to let AI play in our kids' lives. Is it going to be a helpful tool, or is it going to be a replacement for us? Look, let's just be honest with ourselves. AI is going to be a part of our children's lives. That train has already left the station. So the real question that we all have to answer, as parents, as tech creators, as a society, is this one. How do we make sure that we build a future where AI is a helpful tool that supports our kids and not a harmful replacement for the one thing they need more than anything else, real human connection?